new Supergirl chapter, and she has to fight her inner darkness because starts off Supergirl's bugging out in this world with all these critters and all these colors where she doesn't have powers. Leslie has to pick her up in the morning, so she thinks she's fine. Then she starts bugging out while flying again. Back in this world where old Shotty in her mind comes up and reveals herself as Light Flame, and she calls this the Interverse, basically the darkness of Supergirl's mind and psyche. So we get this all this psychedelicness of Supergirl having to deal with this. She ends up curled up underneath a bush, basically out of it, and old girl from the other chapter, the little psychic, has to come bring her to Lena Luthor, where they get her on a table, and she manages to look at her psychically. So hearing her friends' voices gives her a sort of boost, so she manages to overpower her in the darkness. But she basically says, I'm not gonna kill you though. To her dark self, she's like, darkness is strength. You're still a part of me. So she just blows out her sword with her little frost breath, puts it in the ground, and says, "All right, see you guys tomorrow," which is just, and that's how chapter ends. Shmoo, calm,